Hey, welcome back. Today I want to walk you through two current trading setups and potential trades that I'm watching and explain my thought process and how I want to approach those trades. So first we start on the US dollar Canadian. This is the 4-hour chart you can see here. And as I outlined in my blog, we have been in this triangle pattern. You can see the higher lows here. And on the upside, we were in this range with this resistance level and this resistance level on top of each other. And now just recently, this week, price tried to make a run and tried to break out of this range, but it got rejected, as we will see when we zoom in. So you can see here, first it broke through this green supply zone, and then now recently just through this 132.16 level. You can already see that price was staying above this 20 SMA all the time. And now just recently price moved back into the 20 SMA. It found support and it has not been able to break this level so far. And my trading idea is that I am waiting for a confirmed break below this 20 SMA. You want to see that price is closing below the level. Preferably, we will see a very long candle that brings us below this 20 SMA, which then also signals that we are seeing more selling momentum. And then to the downside, obviously, this trend line is then our first target. At the same time, we can probably see and expect a bounce here around those highs. Here is also a small demand zone. So as we move lower into this area here, we can probably expect to see some type of support here, and we will need to navigate our position, probably trail our stop along the 20 SMA as price moves lower, and then prepared to take profits once we see that we're not having enough sellers to push price lower and below this trend line. At the same time, what is a likely scenario is that we will move lower a bit and then find new support in this area, and this will then look like a classic break and retest pattern. And this is where my stacking order technique comes in. So if we break below the 20 SMA, I will enter a short position, but I will only enter a small short position, because although this is a nice short setup, it is only really interesting once price breaks below this level and confirms that we have enough selling power to also break below this support level. So the first order will be after we close below this level, and then the second larger entry order will be once we break below this zone here. And also, I want to highlight that this is a very crowded trade. This means that a lot of people are watching this level. Many people are talking about this short trade. And what then often or sometimes happens is that you get another squeeze, which means that price is shooting higher. It's taking out all the stops from the people who entered short too early and then reverses very sharply. So this is another potential scenario that I'm watching. So we will either get a strong close below this 20 SMA, which can signal our short, or we will see a strong squeeze. And after the squeeze, then you can be ready and prepared to enter short on this one as well. So those are two potential trades and trade scenarios that I'm watching on the US dollar Canadian. And then here, the Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, also the 4-hour chart. This is a very nice and classic market top. You can see that price was in this uptrend here, a few very strong candles, and then just recently we moved into this area. You can see I marked this green area here because we have seen a lot of reactions in the past in this area. Here as well, it has been very strong supply, and after price moved into this area, it sold off very strongly. And this is what we are seeing now. Again, we saw 1, 2, 3, 4, and here almost the fifth attempt to move into this area and pick up short trades. And now price is moving lower. You can see that every attempt to break higher has been rejected. So this is telling me that there are obviously not enough buyers to push price above this level. So this is highlighting that a short trade is very likely here. You can see that we have been also struggling in this area here. If we zoom out a bit, we can see that this has been very strong support and resistance in the past as well. So it makes sense that price is struggling here a bit. And then once price can break below this level, then probably here is where we will see some type of reaction again. You can see here very strong supply after price moved in here. And as well in the past, we have seen a lot of reactions. So once price breaks below this first area, then we can probably expect a very smooth drop into this area. And then either you will see some type of move higher, probably, and it would make very much sense to see this break and retest pattern here on this level. This will also then test the patience of everybody, because if we break here lower, a lot of people will be shorting this because this is a very obvious market top. And when traders move their stop loss too soon, too close, and then we see this retest, this could create a lot of liquidity and then trigger this retest. To the downside, I see a very strong demand zone here in this area. You can see that around here, this is the origin of this strong rally. And so this is probably an area where there's still a lot of demand. So if you are short positioned here, you should consider taking profits, or at least the partial profits on your short trade. And this is how I will approach the Aussie New Zealand dollar. I will come back in a few hours and update you on how this trade is evolving. So hey, and welcome back. Today it's Thursday afternoon here in Europe, and trading in the US just has started. I just want to give you a new update on the two pairs that I outlined. And so here's the US dollar Canadian. Last time we left off, I think, somewhere around here, and I outlined the possibility of having a spike and a squeeze, and this is exactly what happened here. So there were some news coming out, and price then immediately shot up, took out all the stops and completely reversed. I entered my short, as I said, here as price moved into the 20 SMA. Although it was not a textbook break of the SMA, it was still a valid setup. I shorted here. I had two stacking orders down on my way. I also said this is still the line that we drew last time. Here is where I will enter the major part of this position, because when we scroll out, we can see this is a major support and resistance area. And as you can see, this area held. Price found some new support and demand and now moved back up. I'm flat. I exited all my positions on this trade. I made a little bit of money, nothing spectacular, as I was expecting to see more downside potential. Also very interesting, now we can see that the 20 SMA, which is the purple line, is still holding and acting as resistance now. So we could get a new and re-entry opportunity, but this is not looking very interesting anymore, since this market top has changed a little bit and is not showing the classic pattern that we are looking for. Pretty much the same happened on the Aussie New Zealand. You can see I outlined this was the support that we were looking at last time. Price then broke it. It moved into the new support here below that I outlined as well, and it found new buyers. It just moved higher. It just moved higher into this resistance zone now. Also here the 20 SMA is acting as resistance, and it's such a great tool to have on your chart. So as you can see, those were the arrows that we drew last time as well, and I outlined the possibility of this break and retest pattern. So now we have to see if price can find new sellers again and make its way lower. Obviously this is still some type of top pattern where you can see we went from uptrend to then into this consolidation, and now we are seeing some type of lower highs. Here was this very nice rejection that got us into the trade. Nothing spectacular again. Price found immediate support. We exited all our trades. We are now flat and waiting for the new signal. If you've been following my Sunday analysis, here's another one that I outlined, and This setup is unfolding right now. The Australian Swiss franc, we marked this very nice support and resistance area. 0.7361 is support and resistance previously. It has, you can see that price was in this uptrend. It formed this first market top. It sold off, found new support here. Now you saw that price was trending into this area with some type of triangle, and this is then very classic again. You can see at this point probably many people were looking for this short break as price was coming closer and closer into this area, and then what happened? Price shot up. This was a very classic squeeze here with a very long rejection that immediately reversed as it picked up all the orders and stops here, and now price is moving into this area again. But this time you can see the price action is very different. The bearish candles are much stronger and larger, and as we are speaking, price is now just moving into those lows again. But as you can see, price has retested this area quite a lot, and every time we left wicks to the downside. So the main thing about this setup is here that you are not that you stay patient, you don't enter just yet, you wait for a close below this level and then add to your trade as price moves lower. There's a lot of downside potential. Here are probably two very interesting demand zones that are worth having on your charts if you are looking for exits. Here as well, lots of wicks in this area we can see here. So those are probably some price levels that are worth having on your charts. And finally, the Euro Australian dollar is the pair that I've had on my watch list since we moved into this lows here. So this is the daily chart, so this is probably 2 or 3 weeks back, and I was looking for the bullish reversal because you can see the waves are very obvious here, and also this trend line is very obvious and very precise. But at the same time, because this was such an obvious level, I always encourage people to be much more patient than normally, because when you have such obvious levels, then you often get the squeeze. And sure enough, this is what happened. You can see price made some type of run at this at the resistance here. Here you can even see that price tried to break it a few times. Then it moved lower. This is the squeeze here very nicely. And afterwards we shot back up. Now price even closed above the 20 SMA here for the first time in a very long time. And we are still trading below this resistance area. We can see it very clearly on the 4-hour chart as well. So very similar to the Aussie Swiss franc that we talked about before. Very great setup, very tempting right now to enter already. But as long as price stays below this level, this is not a trade. And entering now would be way too early, because you can see what happened last time. We always sold off from this level. Although this is looking now very different. You can see price after the last attempt, price did not make it below the 20 SMA, and it came back very quickly again into this area, which could mean that there are more buyers now who are looking to buy into this pair. Hey, and welcome back. Now it's Saturday morning, and I wanted to give you an update on all the pairs that I watched with you during the week. And so let's start with the Aussie New Zealand dollar. So last time we left off, I think just here after price shot into the resistance and the 20 SMA. And as I said, I was expecting this break and retest pattern. And as price found new selling momentum and it moved lower, I then entered my second short position just here where this arrow is pointing. Let me take this off for a second. And then you can see that price immediately shot back into this SMA and the resistance zone. I had my stop loss, as I always have it, above the 20 SMA, which then kept me in the trade, and my target was here. I could have held my trade longer now, as we see that price broke this first target area, which is this very nice and clear support and resistance line, but it's always better to be safe than sorry. So I exited my trade here. Pretty nice, good run. And yeah, so next week I'm not trying to enter short, My trade was only this reversal here. I could have held longer, but now we are on the weekend and I preferred to close my trade ahead of the weekend. So overall, not bad. I could have made more money looking at it now, but that's always the problem with hindsight. So very nice. The analysis played out very precisely, and we can move on to the next pair. So last time we left off on the Euro Australian dollar as price was just moving into this resistance area here. And as I said, I wanted to enter long once price is able to close above this level. And sure enough, it did close here. I entered long and then price immediately reversed on me. I exited my trade here on the close of this large candle, and I had my stop again below the 20 SMA, which then gave me minus 0.5 R loss, which is not too bad. The setup was very nice. And yeah, this is, as I said, it's a very crowded trade. Everybody is watching this scenario right now. So it was as expected, and it's not unlikely to see a lot of more consolidation around this area and see more shakeouts. And now price is even moving below the 20 SMA again. So we will come back next week to see what this one does. And here, finally, the Aussie Swiss franc. Another trade we left off here, I think, once price moved below this resistance. I entered short here on the first trade. This time I did not place my stop all the way here because this would have been a too far stop loss. I had it here below the 20 SMA because you can also see we're in this range. So in a range, the 20 SMA is not that important anymore. And price was clearly more focusing on this level instead of the SMA. So my stop was here. Price then moved down lower. We can see where it did found support is in this this low zone here, where we had all these wicks to the downside, very nice demand zone. And then as price touched it, price shot back into it. I exited here just for a break-even trade. No problem here, no loss taken. Overall, the setup is very nice, and I'm still expecting to see some type of reversal, but next week I will change my game plan. You can come back on Sunday to see my new analysis, but basically you want to see price move below this area here first, and then you can consider new short trades. And that's basically for my trading week. I had 6 trades overall, 1 loss, 2 break-even trades, and 3 winners. And if you want to know more about my trading, I will put a link in the description below the video to my complete Saturday analysis. You can once again go through all my trades. I will write a short description, and if you like my video, I would be very happy if you give me a thumbs up and share this video on YouTube. Thank you and have a good weekend, everybody.